All right.
Great.
All right. Unmuted. Got my main screen up. Alrighty. Rich and Luke, episode 89? 9. Yeah, 89. And, well, first of all, say hi, Luke.
Hey, I'm sick.
Yes, so he's going to sound a little bit funny. And then we also have a guest, which, I mean, I guess I shouldn't. I mean, yeah, if you went to the thread or went to the stream, it's up there, but it's Ace. So say hello, Ace.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, there you go. So you got some voices. Um, so I'm sure there'll be absolutely no confusion. Yep, yep. All right.
Just three white guys talking.
Yes, yes. We're
No
all
confusion.
extremely distinct, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Very different.
So let's see. I guess we were off for close to a month, almost. I think
Yeah, just about.
just about a month. Yeah. Sort of not planned. I mean, part of it was planned, but then part of it was not. Um, I was on vacation, and then
You
I
lost
lost
your
my
voice.
voice. Yeah, and now we're back, so that's cool. We
So,
missed.
did you give Luke what he has now through the podcast?
So it's funny. When we were talking, I was saying when I got back from Vegas, like this past 2 weeks that I've been back, like everybody I know, like that I know anywhere, has been sick over these past 2 weeks. It feels like that's probably an exaggeration, but like, yeah, just about everybody I know in real life has been sick. It seems like, and then I don't talk to a ton of people like on the regular in the SHL, but Luke is one of those people, and of course he's sick too now. So
Yeah.
so
It's not fun.
yeah, yeah, it's a good time. I mean, this is, I guess, like kind of that time, right? I suppose.
Yeah, just about. Weather started to change. It's getting colder.
Yeah, they can't quite figure out what they want to do on the Mother Nature side of things up here. Like, we'll go
Yeah.
from
Ace, I don't know about you,
30
but
degrees, 40
last week it
degrees.
was like 60.
Yeah, yeah,
And then
exactly.
this
That's what
week
I
it's in
mean.
the 20s. Yeah.
I'm getting like whiplash up here because it's like, bam, you get winter weather, and then nope, you still get like early fall weather, and and that's what really does you in, right? That's what gets you sick, I think, because your body and your immune system's just got no idea what the hell's going on around it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's we missed basically the entire off season, which is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
What happens in the off season? There's no drama anymore.
yeah. What was there really anything? Not really, I suppose, huh?
No, not
I
really.
mean,
Not this.
the big
Not this off
stuff is
season.
like all stuff we're gonna cover. There isn't anything like that was because yeah, like
Yeah.
charity drive was one of the big things. The State of the Union is probably the other big thing.
Yep.
But that was more recent, I guess. The charity drive. We basically were off air for the entire charity drive,
Yeah.
which is
Basically.
kind of frustrating because like when it was kicking off, and I have to say this is what I wanted to say like 2 weeks ago, um, is that like really like sincerely thank you to everybody um, that put a bid on our our auction.
Yeah.
Because I was when they first went up, I think ours was there was like us and I think was there a Manhattan Ice one?
Yeah, Matt Ice. I put my New England goal logo or goal sound.
So I'm pretty sure it was us and the Manhattan Ice were like the last two to get their first bid, and I was just sitting there watching it
Yeah.
like, please, please, I don't want, I
Someone.
can't, I can't handle this. I need, and then a
Yeah.
bunch of people started bidding. I was like, oh, thank you, oh please, thank you, I love you all
Yeah.
so
Well,
much.
part of it was kind of on me because I put something in the Philly locker room
Oh
and
really?
they started bidding. Yeah. And then just put some stuff down.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I was really appreciative of that. Even if it was, instigated by Luke, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
And we ended up with Ace, so that's cool. With some not I don't know about, I guess, Luke, but I talked to Ace a little bit now just because of the Star Wars game. Um,
Hmm.
but like
Oh, okay.
I really hadn't talked to Ace that much.
I know like Ace a decent amount just from GMing
Yeah, yeah.
to I think we were on a podcast a while back. Probably I think King and I interviewed you like those 3.5 years ago.
Oh God, I don't even remember, man. I have a hard time remembering what I had for breakfast.
I'm gonna go back and check. I'm pretty sure he did
Yeah.
because
Why
we
don't you
did
hit
with a
up the
lot of
guy
old
that's
people.
the history guy? Yeah. Oh wait, that's
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that is me.
But yeah, outside of like I think we Ace and I had a couple of brief discussions like free agency at some point,
Yep.
way back. On my first player, I'm pretty sure. And that's pretty much it, I think, right?
It's when I was trying to steal you
It was
back in the day.
the one I remember specifically was it was like my one of my last seasons because I was like just trying to get just a few more hits in. So I was like really looking for a team that like had nobody was checking on it. And it was I think it
Oh
was
yeah, I remember that.
and I but I think that was it.
Yeah, we did interview you November 3rd, 2018.
Wow.
You returned to New England as GM and all that fun stuff.
Oh yeah.
That was that long
Good
ago.
old-
God, that doesn't
good
feel
old
like
New
it was that
England.
long ago.
Yeah, and then another GM came in for New England. You know, doing all
Yeah,
right.
you're two after though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
been a
true.
couple.
That's true.
How long have you been in the GM job for New England now?
Over a year now, about a year. Year. Yeah, about a year and a bit, I think.
I
Did
wouldn't
you
have
get the New
guessed that
England
long.
job before I got Winnipeg?
That's a good question. Hold on.
I don't even
I
know.
have to look back. Probably announcements will probably be the earliest I can get to.
Hmm.
Shit.
Because I think I've been at Winnipeg for just over a year.
Wait, no, not yet. It's December 19th.
That'll be your 1 year?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I remember that because it was right before Christmas. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna apply because I know no one else did yet. And it was been like 3 weeks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Poor Ken Vald's like, somebody please apply. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. It was literally like, well, did that, or I think the Toronto job, I believe, right?
Yeah, because they would have been up about the same time. I think Toronto's went up after though. I think New England's have been up for
Maybe
a
San
minute.
Francisco. Maybe San Francisco. It was between two teams.
I'm just
Or
glad that
two or three teams.
I'm really glad that there seems to be a change of perspective regarding GM jobs than what there was 12 months ago.
Well, I think it's just gotten a lot. I mean, with removing a test stemming, it's been great. But
I feel like the
I think it's
culture
all,
itself in GMing is a little nicer than what it was maybe 12,
yeah.
18 months ago.
But also,
Especially when you don't have people that are drafting your player in the first round.
yeah, I mean, in some ways, it's even better, you know. The tick went after that, so. But yeah, no, it's I think it's one. I think the GM job got easier, but then I think just more teams can compete more now. So I think it lets more people be like, oh, I don't have to be a top 3 team or like on Hamilton to be good.
I think the biggest difference is probably that
Yeah.
it's actually more of like a straight management position with testing gone.
Well, no, it's still like you have to know FHM,
Well,
but like if you have
sure,
a guy for that, then
I
sure.
suppose, yeah.
But like,
The workload's
I mean,
definitely lighter now.
the jamming part is the most fun part anyway.
Right,
So
but I think now even like with simming gone, it becomes the bulk of the work because there's
yeah,
only so much you can do strategy wise. Like it's like, but yeah, anyway.
Like you still a big component of coaching. Now obviously you can't do test simming, but a lot of it's kind of like, theory crafting, building
yeah,
a new meta without being able to test it. Like you really have to use the on ice results to even gather any sort of sample size
yeah.
to make projections.
Or I
And
just
that
had
kinda-
Jeffy do it all. So
So that's actually a question. With the way with the no test simming now, do you I guess how do you formulate a strategy? Do you try to approach it as like it were real hockey, as though it were real hockey, or do you like? I guess yeah. I don't really know. How do you approach that?
well, it's only been what 2 seasons
Right. Yeah.
since the
I mean
change.
that's a decent amount of time. That's
Well, the
4 or 5
first
months.
season, New England was shit. So and then the
Yeah.
second season was like when were like the best shit teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
But and from my perspective, it's basically like Jeffy and I set the lines day one, and then we tweak it at like game 20 or so once we get like a decent sample size to see what's working or not.
Mhm.
And then from there, just like little adjustments here and there, because like you could see like, oh, like the third line's doing shit. You can tweak some stuff with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the community here since 2011, and when we were using STHS before it was really kind of broken down and dissected and Hamiltoned, I kind of took it from a more of a traditional hockey, strategy. I would try to build a roster with, a
A wet
power
team?
forward, yeah, like a well-built hockey team built for the net out, and yeah, that got me absolutely nowhere as a GM.
Yeah, I know.
So
You know.
you have to figure that out really the hard way. I mean, luckily enough, we have a community now that people have figured that out for you, and you don't
Yeah.
have to try to replicate that. But back in the day, that is what I tried to do, and it's not what works. So now, I mean, what we do in Winnipeg is we have like two different war rooms. We have our war room that's more of like roster building, long term finance planning, um, that type of stuff. And then we have our tactical team, which are responsible for, on ice strategies. That's predominantly led by Rashford and Jess. So I kind of let them drive the ship on the tactics, but the roster assembly and culture building and everything like that, that's something that falls under my purview. So I from time to time I'll chime into something and be like, hey, have we considered this? Just to kind of stir the pot a little bit. But that's how our tactics kind of work today. So
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense, I think. Because they are just completely different things. Like, there's no like not that it doesn't matter like what players you have on the roster, but it's like you don't really, I don't know, you don't really have to necessarily like have a close, um, uh, like you don't have to tie those too closely together. What with the players you have versus the strategies you just kind of run, you can just get your players and then try to figure out your strategy based on that. So I think yeah,
yeah.
it's like kind of separating them, especially if since like I said, they're completely different skill sets, makes a ton of sense. Um,
Yep, and I think if this is, I'm sure Luke knows this. I'm not like opening up Pandora's box here or anything by sharing this, but the more people you can get involved and invested in the success of your team, the more people build relationships and are actively, wanting to go the extra mile, and they're more loyal to your team. So,
Yeah, you
um,
just want the buy-in.
exactly, paint the picture, have them believe in the picture, and then the success comes from
And then
there, right?
hopefully the results come.
Mm-hmm.
Pray.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Once you blow up the team. Right,
Yep.
Ace?
Yep. Or get fired before you can execute your vision. One or the other.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, no, it's a lot of it's just basically like people communicating skills and
Hmm.
building a locker room of like 10 to 20 people,
yeah, I think that will
depending on
like
who's active.
never really change. It's kind of
No,
always been the
it won't.
case. I guess maybe to varying degrees, because like when you're the league now versus 5 years ago, it was easier 5 years ago simply because the volume of people was lower. You didn't have to work quite as hard to make sure everybody was engaged.
And there's also a lot more like relationships
Hmm.
like between players and like different people now
Yep.
because of Discord and stuff. So you have like, you know, player A is on your team, but you know that they might go to X team because they're friends with a GM. So like, you know, how long you're gonna roll the dice and like to make sure because they can say, they're always on, they're with you, but like if they go to free agency, you never know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah, somebody like Luke's just gonna sit there and offer them a max dollar contract to go anyway.
who did I do that from? Or agents? Or is that hypothetical?
I know that I've been against you on a few different free agent
These past
opportunities.
couple seasons?
Yeah,
Who?
and trades too.
Oh, was it with Hulk?
Oh, I was working with Hulk. Yeah,
Okay,
I
because that was the
uh,
only one I did like a long. I offered like a long contract.
I laughed, and I definitely shot myself in the foot here, and I'll share this on the podcast. This has only been shared internally at Winnipeg so far, but I was working really hard to try to get alcohol to come over to the Aurora in the previous off season, and we had some pretty candid discussions. Like I love Hulk. He's very he comes right out. He's very honest. He's not afraid to be a straight shooter, and he told me straight up that he thought that Manhattan was going to be a better contender than Winnipeg last year.
And you know what? They were.
I laughed at him. I was like, that is incredibly incorrect. You're in the inferior conference. Your team, your average TPE is like 200 lower than our roster. And I said to him, and this is completely my fault. I said to him, I was like, you guys won't make it past the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think I
would've
said to
take-
Halk.
I would have agreed.
I said to Halk because I was offering the pitch, a good pitch. I was like, I think you said it was between like I think it was like Winnipeg, New England, and Manhattan, which is just hilarious. That was in the conversation. But I said, or maybe it was just he was talking about Manhattan and New England. I said honestly, the best chance at a cup would be at Manhattan. So then I let him go there. Not let him, but like he chose. And then when they reached the final, I just like replied to whatever I said, or like, bro, I called it. It was hilarious. And then he said, I didn't even think we would do that.
Yeah, that
So-
was
No,
funny.
I don't think anybody would have
But yeah.
expected. Would have
But yeah,
expected
no, I'm
that.
pretty sure we both tried to get a piece or two from rebuilding teams or whatever.
Yep. Most recently, Hefeweizen.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You were
Yeah,
trying
no,
for him too,
that-
Luke?
Yeah, I messaged everybody. He's like, not in my window. I'm like, all right, bet, fair enough. So I went after the two youngest. And,
No, you made a good deal there too. I like that move. I would have done something.
Yeah, well,
comparable.
originally it was just after Rice,
Yep.
because I messaged Rice first, and Rice is awesome. We were both his GM.
Oh yeah.
I traded to get Rice from New England, and then I traded him to Chicago. So
He was my
Uh,
co-GM for a bit. And then he had to. I think he was going to Australia for school or something.
I think it was also
Way
a
back
cap
when.
crunch, I believe,
Yeah.
which is weird to say in SDHS, but I believe it was a cap crunch issue as well. That's why we got it for cheap, because it was like a second and 2/3 or something like that.
Hmm.
And then we traded him right before we won the cup, which is amazing for Rice since he hasn't won the cup yet. But yeah. Then got Rice, and then we attached already to it, and I got younger, which is always nice. And then it's at some point Ace, you gotta stop worrying about the picks and start getting good players.
Exactly. And that's the thing is that I see a lot of these teams. I'm not going to name names or anything, but a lot of
You
these
can name
teams.
names. I'll name names.
These teams kind of just are in perpetual rebuilds, and they stockpile
Minnesota.
picks.
Who else?
Yeah, yeah. So they just stockpile picks, but then they get to the draft and they don't actually draft well, and they're just in this
Yeah.
perpetual cycle. And I'm like, you
Baltimore was
gotta-
that for a little bit until JR fucking took the reins a little bit.
Yep.
Or he traded better or something like that. He did something where he did really well.
And I really like what Trips did in this draft. He identified his core draft that he wanted to be his foundational draft class for his roster.
Yeah.
And he was able to draft a lot of what I would call high quality users. We've got a nice recreate in one of the picks that he had, and a lot of first generation players. So he's able to really kind of build a culture there that hopefully long term will be that core of his team when he's looking to compete. So I like what he
Yeah.
did there. That's the right way to do it. And you build that foundational core of people, and then you go out there and you supplement them with players that are a little bit older, a little bit younger, and then you have a really good, competent roster in the future. But
Yeah.
But
You
like
trade
we
for
said-
retention for 5-8 years.
yep,
You don't worry about second round picks because you just trade them all away.
no, those are the
Uh,
sweeteners to get people to buy or take your offer instead of somebody else. Like, listen, I'll give you 5 seconds. Like,
Hey, I gave him 3 seconds for goalie, so
yep.
I mean, that's
Oh, the
our
goalie
plan
goalie
to.
TPE doesn't matter. Come on.
That's our plan with those seconds is to
1900 TP
move
for,
around in the
for
draft
3
with them.
seconds. But yeah, no, it's a lot. Just like now, you just gotta make sure that they stay active, build that locker room around it. For like my first round picks, ML went inactive, which is terrible.
Did
It's
you-
not a great pick.
You have ML in your roster?
Not anymore because he went inactive.
Oh, when did you draft it? When was he in? What class was he?
65, 64.
Because I did not
So
not even remember he had
yeah, unfortunate.
a
Yeah,
career
I
off.
know. Thought it'd been a great pick. ML never had a bad player until this one. He always had
Well,
decent players. He had
I mean,
players to update him. Past like 1300 TB, which is all I
which
needed.
is that's only like one though, isn't it? Isn't that only his Lukitanov?
No,
'Cause
Lakatov and the other guy.
the guy after that was like a defenseman that played with next to Adam Barron, and
Yeah, but he also didn't update because of the cap.
yeah. That's all right. Fair enough, I suppose.
Are you
Uh,
alluding that he would circumvent the cap?
by not
Oh my
earning
gosh.
TP. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's like other GMs did that. It's like Finn recreated like 8 times.
I just did that too. Like I had Bjorn Vigosson that was ready to come up, and then I retired him to create Farquaad's because, we looked at the cap coming up, and we straight up were going to have to let go of one of our season 62s if I didn't retire my player, and I didn't want to do that. So there you go, 6 straight seasons. Love it.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's
I wa-
always things you can do.
I wanted to also kind of touch on the
Yeah,
whole, with the SHL today in comparison to what it was even like 5 years ago, and the fact that people are drawn to go elsewhere, and I feel like that is a lot more rooted in the fact that the sim league community itself is so much more broad than what it was back then. When the STHS was really kind of like the king of the castle here in the SHL. I feel like there wasn't as many sim leagues out
yeah,
there.
there 5 years ago,
Yeah,
VHL, maybe ISFL just came along.
yeah,
SBA.
SBA,
Like
and probably
there's
some like VHL other affiliates,
yeah.
but
So yeah, when I was first getting to SHL, it was basically SHL, SBA, and VHL, and those are the only ones that I
yep.
knew of. That were like of any size. I'm sure there were more, but like the player based ones. That was as far as I knew. That was it. ISFL came around, yeah, a little bit later, probably 2018, 2017, 2017 probably.
yeah, or 20 and this 2016, I believe, early
Was it
early
16?
2017.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe so because PP was in 2017, I believe,
Okay.
if
Okay.
my memory serves correct. Even though I wasn't even there at the time, but I believe reading through old threads and shit.
That's pretty impressive, actually. They've been around that long. They were essentially
Yeah,
like a
both of
copy
those.
paste of SHL just with football.
I know.
Yeah. Cause I
Yeah,
know Baller did ISFL
Yep.
or NSFL,
Yeah,
what it
NSFL back
was
then.
called. Yeah,
not safe for life.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was slightly unfortunate, but
It took them a while to change their name, which is it's
yeah, it
hilarious.
took a minute. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, like I guess eh, it's hard to tell because like SHL for me is like that's pretty much it. Like I don't get out into other sim
I
leagues
don't
that
do
much.
anything else.
I was into like NSFL, ISFL back when it first opened for like the first like 5 seasons maybe, not very
Yeah.
long. Um, and outside
Every
of
every other
that, like
sim
I haven't
league
done.
I've been a part of, I just went inactive. It's just
Yeah.
Yeah,
I I it's just SHL only.
the other two I've spent the most amount of time and effort in have been the low effort leagues. So like
Oh, like get on my
GOMHL
hockey league?
and
Yeah.
the Zen Casual. I don't even know what its full name is. Zen Casual something Hockey League.
Yeah,
Isn't there more to it than that?
Zen Casual Hockey League.
Is
Yeah,
that it?
that's
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then that's it. Like if it takes effort, even though I get you get the benefits of being multi league for a lot of these, it's just not. I don't know. I just don't have it in me.
Yeah, I try to be super active and be all in and be who I am in every community I participate in. And as soon as I spread the responsibility across 2 leagues, I find myself stretched thin already. God forbid. I don't know how people do it. I know that we do have a lot of members in this community that are
Yeah.
like top end earners, like super active in the locker rooms on all of their teams and all of their sites. And I'm like, oh my God, like that's impressive. I can't do that. And I work from home, man. Like I sit at my computer all day.
Yeah.
and you'll see me playing Apex Legends at fucking 9 a.m. in the morning while I'm on a meeting on the other computer. So,
Yeah.
but it's still too much. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
I don't know how people can do that.
I
I mean,
think
also, I go like I just went all in on SHL,
right.
so
I
that's
think that's
also
where
like
I'm
a
at
good
too.
thing.
Like I feel like that I'm so like invested in SHL. It feels like I would have to invest myself in a similar manner on another league, and I just can't bring myself to even do that. Even though that's not the
Yeah.
case, it's just I feel like that's kind of my attitude towards sim leagues. Is I'm like kind of all in, and if I not, then I don't know. Feel like I'm not doing it right or not doing it well enough or something.
That, and I
Maybe
think like we have our own personal brands too.
that's yeah,
Like,
that's true.
when you go out there, people are going to say, "Oh, that's Ace. He's been in the SHL for X amount of time. He's
Mm.
got Hall of Fame players over there. If we draft him, this is what he'll bring to the table." And I can't really I
Yeah,
can't make that guarantee.
yeah,
So
that's what made me first round in PBE, and then I went inactive at
Whoops.
like 600 TBE.
Yeah. That kind of happened to me in the ISFL when I tried to come back, but there was a really small draft class, so it wasn't that big a deal. But it was similar. It was like, okay, got drafted reasonably high, but also the options were thin. I stuck around long
Yeah,
enough to have a serviceable player and then just completely ghosted and never
yeah,
went
I had
back.
my most recent other league experience. I did try PBE. I didn't enjoy it whatsoever, and I think that's mainly just rooted in the fact that I'm a big hockey fan, and baseball draws literally. I
it's
mean, yeah,
boring.
baseball. It's so boring, man. I just can't get into it, and I have no passion for it whatsoever. So I went inactive after getting to like 400 TPE. But with the ISFL, I at least have a casual understanding and enjoyment of football, and I really kind of got into
Yeah, I
that a
would
little
hope
bit.
so. Being a Pats
So
fan,
I
when they're
I mean,
winning.
I'm not like as into the Pats as I am the Bees.
Yeah,
So
but when they win,
I mean, that's the thing here though in New England is that like it's kind of a cultural thing. Like we don't do the college sports like a lot of other areas in the nation.
yeah. I mean, you got to
Public awards
have like college
contest.
hockey stuff.
Yeah,
You
we
got a
have a ton
beanpot.
of there's a ton of college teams, but we just don't follow it the way that we follow pro sports. So
Yeah,
like if you're in a work setting, everybody's talking about the Pats game. So if you want to be like relevant in those social circles, you kind of have to have a good understanding of what's going on with the roster and the games and everything. So, pro sports are I mean, you got the Celtics, you got the Bees, you got the Sox, you got the Pats. You kind of have to know everything about those teams, even though I could really do without the Sox and the Celtics. But yeah, the football sim league, it was fun. I was in there for a bit. I won a championship with the DSFL team, the London Royals, and then I got called up to the big club, and my team couldn't win anything, and it was so disheartening. And I just was like, you know what? I don't care enough about this to keep investing my time and banging my head against the wall. And I went inactive there too.
Yep. Yeah. It's yeah. I can relate to that for sure. You guys want to talk about some current events, SHL stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so.
I do want to get into the State of the Union a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know that there's a ton here to really like dig into. I mean, it's pretty for the most part. I think it's pretty just like I don't know, housekeeping rules kind of stuff. Um, like the first couple things, just the auto retiring of the sub 155 TPE guys. Like okay, check.
Yeah, let Jesus Christ into the
Just
Hall of
cleaning
Fame.
cleaning out the rosters of yeah. I mean, I kind of always I back in the day I kind of always thought that was a thing, and then when I saw somebody go below, I was like, oh, I guess it's not. And now we got Jesus Christ at like 70 some
Bias
TPE or something like
Lindemann.
that.
Yeah, Lindman, I kept
How
Lindman
did how low did
around.
he go?
Uh, 30 something, I believe.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What else we got? We got the contract thing, which is essentially just a thing about like
It's something
adjusting
that's
how.
literally has already been in place,
Yeah. It's just
but
like
I
now
just wanted
it's
to clarify.
in writing and maybe more accurately in writing for how it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
just more codifying.
yeah, nothing
Cleaning
nothing
it up.
Yeah.
interesting there. Um,
So I don't have to get asked the same question every single season, hopefully. Or no, I probably will. I'll just copy and paste.
yeah. Then we got the what do we got? The shooting accuracy defenseman change,
Yeah.
and the
I
decrease in goals per game.
yeah.
Um, which I don't know. There's not. I mean, I don't know that the defenseman accuracy is going to have much effect. I kind of think it won't. Um,
We'll see.
Actually, I think the issue was that forward scoring went up, not that defense scoring was the
Yeah,
issue.
points for forwards went up, points for defensemen went down a
Or did
little
they go
bit.
down? I thought they stayed roughly the
Yeah.
same. Okay.
No, they went down, so
Okay.
so
Well,
they're
yeah.
trying
In any
to
case,
change that.
I still don't think this will do much.
We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, we'll see for sure. Um, and then the change in goals per game, which is fine. It's kind of whatever. Um,
I don't know
Yeah,
how
I
they
did
got to
ask.
6.1.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know how they got to 6.1
uh,
from 6.25.
So the rationale that was provided to everybody was that that's the standard one that's used for the NHL leagues in FHM.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I asked straight up. I was like, "Have we done any like projections or tests based on this to like see if it does have an impact?" And was just told, "No, this is just what the NHL leagues use." So I was like, "Oh,
That's
okay."
fun.
yeah, I don't know. It's hey, what's up, Koa? By the way, I forgot to say that earlier. Koa's in chat, so that's cool.
Hi, Koa.
Go
What
to
else?
bed. It's
What
like
else?
1 a.m.
What was the head office change? Actually don't know this one.
It's 2 head offices or 2 co-commissioners and interns.
Maintaining the list of
Oh
free
yeah,
agents
the
would be nice, though.
SHL head office intern. That was a new thing. Yeah, okay, because they'd never had interns before now, and that was I didn't actually realize that was in
Yeah,
the State of the Union.
I wanted to hire secretaries back when I was there.
I mean, same thing.
I want to call them secretaries.
No, you can't call them that. They're administrative assistants.
Yeah, interns. Unified sim team. I guess I'm not sure exactly if this just means combining all the different leagues
Yeah,
because each league has its own
basically.
simmers. Does that mean all the
Just get a
simmers are going to
Calicar
cross
back.
over, or
Let's have Calicar sim all of
yeah,
them,
yeah,
please.
just, yeah, I don't
I
know.
would
It's
love a little bit, and this isn't in me saying anything poorly about those that have put a lot of effort in, but I would love a little bit more creativity on the simming side of things. You look at the product that these other aforementioned communities are putting out there, and the PBE streams and the ISFL, they are really polished and they are presented very well. I know that, HFFO, myself, Jimmy, we kind of did a little dabbling of commentary, and I
Yeah.
think it added some entertainment value and made the stream's production value a little higher. I think probably with this unified sim team, there could be more collaborative discussions around that. So
Yeah.
I'm optimistic that hopefully we can really improve the stream experience.
Uh,
Because right now,
I
as it is, FHM's terrible to watch.
yeah, I
It's
don't
pretty
watch
rough, yeah.
any live streams at all, so I have no opinion.
I got
So
conditioned to never watch the live streams because back in the early days of FHM 6, if you're a bad team, it was unwatchable. It was miserable.
oh yeah.
And I was in Toronto for a few seasons and we were super bad, so it was just like it
I
wasn't
think
fun. So I just stopped watching entirely.
production wise, what I think they could try to do is to not live sim every day and do what we did where it was like quick sims for like 3 or 4 out of 7 days, and then 3 days you put the production in to actually like uh make it fancy and shit so that there's um there's like less live streams, so each live stream can be focused more for
Mhm.
production, and there's like more time to focus on production if there's only three instead of 6
Sure, and doing
days being streamed.
like an every other day kind of thing or
Yeah, something like
something like
that.
that.
But and then like uh, and then the other 3 days they're live streamed privately or something. Just I don't know. Just because we have box scores now,
Yeah, yeah. Having the box scores, yeah, it's does change, I guess, the way you can, yeah, quick simming becomes I think better with the ability to go in and look at the box scores.
Yeah.
Uh, although I honestly haven't been using the box scores as much as I thought I would. I
Wow, how
still
dare you?
I still am kind of like using people posting sim results in Discords as a crutch.
Really? People are still doing that?
Yes, yeah, that's where I get almost
They
all
still
of
like
my sim
screenshot
results at this point.
stuff?
Yeah. I mean,
Why? That's
not
so cringe.
I mean, because it's available immediately, like it's instantly available, and it
I
is kind of
don't
like a way
care.
to keep people, because a lot of people aren't going to watch the sim, and you can only
Just look at yeah, just look at the box scores.
yeah, that's what I thought would happen, but a lot of the places I'm in are still showing
Bro,
screenshots. Not like
I
every
like gotta
game, but like
figure it out.
yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
All I hope, as long as like this unified sim team, I'm just curious like what it could potentially mean for my file work, because I have no idea. I don't want to work on
Oh
any other
yeah.
files. I only want to work on the SHL file.
Yeah.
But it's fine. What about I mean, Twitter is like it's whatever. Not
Yeah.
really anything to say there. I mean, I wouldn't, if so. The suggestion here is essentially just like a forum thread. Is that what I'm? Yeah,
Yeah.
essentially just one long thread. I mean, I don't know. I'm not like super in love with Twitter in terms of like how we use it, but I feel like that
Yeah.
wouldn't. It just won't. Uh, eh, wouldn't do the same thing. It wouldn't be as interesting or engaging, or I don't know. It's great for the people that need the money. That's totally fine. But my interest in it would kind of disappear, I think. Not that my interest was that great. So there you go. Retirement rules. That was just so you can't kind of like spam retire to get your player down to a certain TPE level. It's kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Rulebook updates. Looks like just housekeeping stuff. So cool. I mean, yeah, this was kind of relatively uninteresting, which is, I suppose, good. It means we're in kind of a stable spot in terms of the league at the moment. What's up, Frenchie? By the way, I missed you. So yeah, if we got a boring State of the Union, I think it's probably generally a good sign for the league and where we're at. So that's cool. I'm into it. You got anything else there?
That's it for me for that.
Cool.
Probably do the questions, right?
Oh God, yeah, question. We have a lot of questions, and I'm so used to just not having questions that I completely didn't, like, I've got them up but just forgot.
Yeah.
All right. First set of questions from Bonk, and this is actually kind of interesting. On top of Big Slap AR coming back, there's been like a fair bit of podcasts popping up. Yeah. So that's kind of cool. Nice little resurgence. We got
people figured out how much
Vitor.
money
I know.
you can make.
And it's Vitor, Slap AR is back. Hammer's still doing his thing. Didn't we have something else? Am I crazy?
I interviewed
yeah, you had Rice. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I ran the podcast through like an AI text or speech to text.
Oh,
We did 9,000 words on that.
Did a transcription for you? Like transcribed it? Nice.
Yeah,
That's
it was
pretty
9,000 words. So we're getting the short end of the stick, man. If it's around 9,000 words, it's 4,500. So
sick.
I might want to get the original look to text only. Make everyone read.
Wait. So what would oh man. We should you could like just parse it out and see which one's worth more every time.
Yeah.
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 Whichever one's more valuable money wise.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to some questions. So Bonk from the Big Slappy R got some questions. He says, long time since we've communicated. How have you three been, I guess, since we are 3 this week? I mean, yeah, no complaints. I'm starting the home ownership journey. I just
Oh, that's fun.
started talking to a realtor, started getting my loan stuff figured out. So I'm gonna probably start looking at
Okay.
houses here in the next couple of weeks. So that'll be fun.
Great market for it right now.
Yeah, no, well, listen, my rent's going way up, so I'm like, okay, so
Oh, okay.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm just gonna buy a house, even like regardless. Like,
Absolutely. I'm
yeah.
firmly
Yeah.
on the fuck landlords bandwagon. So
Yeah, I stayed as long as I did simply because like I was kind of, and I wasn't getting like a great deal on my rent, but it was very affordable and I could put away a good chunk of money every year,
Mhm.
every month. And now that's a bit of that's going away. So I'm like, okay, I should probably
Yeah.
get something for the money that I'm spending each month, I guess.
yes.
Yeah. They get
So
the so that's exciting.
yeah, that's my excitement that's been going on the past few weeks. What about you guys?
For me, I'm just still working, I guess. When did Bonk leave? Like a year and a half ago? 2 years ago?
Oh, probably something like that. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
even
so
know.
so I graduated college, I guess, and got a
That's big.
job. Yeah. It's crazy. I started it summer of freshman year when I joined,
Oh wow.
so it's weird.
Yeah.
What about you,
Um,
Ace?
not a whole lot's changed in the last year and a half. I've had the same job. So just kind of doing the same old, man. Kids are getting older. That's a big thing. Like my youngest is now in kindergarten, so
Oh, geez.
balancing the whole dad mode, the husband thing, the job, and the things
Yeah.
that I like to do. That's probably the biggest challenge logistically. I have to bring both of my daughters to dance class. Like between me and the wife, we're there 5 days a week. So it's a lot of dancing in the household of Ace.
Yeah. You
I don't do
dance?
any of it. I don't. No,
No?
no, no, nope,
Damn.
nope, nope. Not. And I'm not like one of those hardcore dance parents that are like, "Oh, your tondu's off and everything." So,
I've just to assume that's a real word. I have no idea.
oh yeah, it's the whole. It's a dance position.
Okay. Sure.
Yep. You got to brush up on your ballet terminology, Rich.
I
Yeah.
I I definitely do. He also wants to know: is there anything new in the SHL he should be made aware of?
Um,
Honestly, I don't know that there is anything
Hamilton
like.
didn't win.
Well, I
yeah,
mean, yeah,
Hamilton's bad now,
yeah.
hopefully for a little bit longer, you know? Especially being in the same division, hopefully. Um,
I think like the
and
core is pretty much the same. Like
Yeah.
the sim
yeah,
engine's not really doesn't change a whole lot for like how you have to operate as a user. Really,
I
I
mean,
mean,
box scores are great.
the box scores
Hmm.
are there. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the
Oh,
same thing still as when they left, I suppose. Just a little different.
yeah, I mean, not a ton
Yeah,
changed.
not really.
Um,
The trading cards was that around a year and a
oh
half
yeah,
ago?
oh yeah, trading cards, yeah, yeah,
That might
yeah.
have been
I
like,
guess that kind of released
yeah, were they? Yeah,
because it got released this year,
it would have
so
been like pretty close to the same time. They probably stopped checking
but
in
they
quite as
really it
much.
released
Maybe.
like this February, so
Or was it really that? God, it feels like it's been longer. I don't know why.
yeah. So yeah, trading cards, that's exciting. So you get to
Yeah, there's that.
see their players.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
probably to me. If they're that would be the
yeah.
one thing like that I would say to check out the trading cards. It's pretty
The
sick.
analytics site that Canada's has.
Hmm. That's got it. That would have been around before they left, though. I think.
Maybe, but it's pretty useful, especially as like replacement for the Bojo box because
Yep.
it looks up of everyone. I mean, also Aaron's bot also has everyone as well because I
Yep.
gave him that information too. So so you can look up more historical things.
um, greatest shitstorm of the past year.
Oh God,
I'm not even sure. Like,
there has been one that like really stood out. Ace, can you think of anything?
uh,
Um,
Is there any been like
Nothing
good
that's like
Thunderdomes?
jumping out at me actually, which
no,
is
like there's been like
strange.
I suppose little ones, but there really hasn't been anything like of real substance. Um,
Oh, what's the time zone
maybe
thing?
maybe Yagoi getting bullied off the site, like, but that wasn't really much of a shitstorm. That was just a thing that happened.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, I guess he
Valor
did.
being Valor,
Yeah.
the super team
oh
problem
yeah,
thread.
yeah.
But, like, there hasn't been that oh, the time zone thing where the guy had a mixture of, like, time zones, and he thought
What
something with update there was, like, a whole thing where, I forget what, but
the
it wasn't
time
that
zone thing?
big.
What was that? I don't know this. Did
Oh, I
somebody?
forget.
Was there an
I don't know
issue
if it was a
with
Thunderdome or not, but
like was there like an updating related issue based on
I
timing
don't
of
remember.
something or?
I don't remember, but I
Huh.
remember it slightly.
And this does not ring any bells. I have no idea. Hmm.
I mean, the other thing that's changed since he's been gone is the fact that the Hall of
Oh,
Fame committee basically took a break until basically he came back. So
oh
now
yeah,
we're
there was that
Yeah,
too.
him.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Koa's,
that's unfortunate. Oh, he was
yeah.
skipping fantasy because he set his forum time to a wrong time zone, so he got freaked out when he got skipped in fantasy. That's what it was. Thank you,
Man,
Koa.
I did not remember that at all.
Who
Okay.
was that?
Slavic Thor.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Mm.
But like other than that, there wasn't like there's not. I mean, there wasn't anything like juicy, or like
Yeah, not
you
really.
remember it. Cause like there hasn't been like any real multi things. Cause I remember was a multi one, but like it wasn't that important.
I just love the difference in tone. Like you go all the way to the back of the Thunderdome on page 76.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
cool.
3 of them have the word "fuck" in it. It's
Yeah.
like
Now,
I mean, if you look in it, there might be other words.
yeah. Some of those,
Some words you can't
some of
really
that
say
gamer
now.
language, you know.
Yeah, you can't really say now.
Uh,
thanks, Obama.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
What about Bunk's got another one, but it's kind of like we can come back to it as a closer, maybe. Do the old hockey talk tonight.
Okay.
Close on a food question.
Okay.
All right. We got a question from Slappy then. Actually, looks like a two-parter, kind of. He says, I don't know nearly as much about FHM as I did in the old sim. What would you consider the most important skills in building a speedy scoring wing? And what attributes, if any, can I ignore for a while? I don't know that there's any you can really ignore, except for maybe like aggression and fighting. Um,
Well, ones to absolutely pump up would be getting open.
yep.
If you want to score. But honestly, a lot of it now is basically what your player's set to in the sim, whether
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
Yeah,
a
it's about the
dangler or
rules.
it's about the rolls more than anything.
Yeah. I feel like builds are you can like be a lot more balanced now. Like there's not like like borderline ignoring things like agility and speed.
Yeah,
Uh,
I mean balanced is good, but I think
it's still good, but I don't
uh
think it's like it's not the disparity. I don't think is like what it was with 6, like where it was
yeah,
like all
or like
strength and balance and
SCHS
like
as well, where there's only like 5 things you need to update. You
yeah,
kind of have to update a lot, but like you could like you could like lead offensively, but have like still decent defensive stats. But a lot of it's actually depending on the role. So
mhm.
talk to the GM or whatever. But usually it's like the GM will have you at like dangle, 2-way forward, power forward. Uh, what else? Age. What
I don't
else do
know,
we put?
sniper.
At
I don't know what
agitator.
people actually use. Honestly, I don't know what the like.
Dangler's pretty common.
But garbage
Yeah,
collectors probably gets a bit of use out there.
Oh,
we
if you
don't
want me
use them.
a speedy score, you don't have
Oh,
to
speedy
really
score.
do
That's right.
if you don't really have to do deflecting or screening.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ignore it, but you don't have to invest into it. I think it's like more about prioritizing versus because
Yeah.
there really isn't, like I said, much you can ignore anymore. I think you have to spend into
And
everything at least a bit.
and don't get confused too, and I'm not insinuating that you would, but checking does not mean hitting. So make sure
Yes,
you're still getting checking up there too. That way you're able
Oh,
to
yeah.
ensure
that's
you're
definitely
in a good
been a thing that
position.
people have been confused by. Yeah,
Yeah.
checking just means
Yeah,
generally like pressuring the puck
being in the
carrier.
position to
Yeah,
do
hmm
stuff.
It's a
It's
lot of
like
like anticipation, positional awareness, that kind of stuff.
yeah. Um, but yeah, and then what? Probably ask who's the coach in Calgary?
they haven't
Probably
been
ask
drafted yet.
whoever the coach in Calgary whenever you get
It's
drafted there.
Squeezed blood out of a stone and
listen.
drag it into
I mean,
Dragonland.
I think Kez is. It's not like it was. Like it's not a guarantee, but like sure Kez would draft them given the opportunity. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
why I said that.
yeah, yeah. um, yeah. So yeah. Definitely. It's about how your coach is going to use you, and then like prioritizing based on that. I guess is kind of like the short answer.
Yep.
All right, Carpy. Um, why is the league in general better now than it was a year ago? Or if you don't think so, why is it worse?
Parody. Finally, hopefully, knock on wood. You're able to see teams that are not in, like the top 3 in the league go on deep runs. So it makes it way more enjoyable for the general populace. And then you also have teams on like or players on bad teams scoring a lot as well. So It's kind of like SCHS where you can be on a shit team but still have really good points. So you're not always just like, oh, I have to go to a good team in order to be a good player. Um,
Yeah.
and
I don't know that
then
it's like I wouldn't say that it's necessarily a lot better, but I definitely wouldn't say it's worse.
it's
I think
taking steps in the right direction.
I would say yeah, but the meta has changed in a way that still needs some improving. I think. In so much as that, like, I think the so far the past few seasons, it's been like kind of like the way to win is to bring in players on trade with what do
With
you call it,
retention?
retention. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
well,
I
I
don't
guess we
know.
have yet to see this season, but it seems like obviously Winnipeg's the
It
heavy
hasn't
favorite.
worked for Ace yet,
So
so
yeah, but I mean, like the I think the level at which they're favored, I think in most people's minds is like pretty substantial, and
yeah.
I think that's because of that meta because they're in the best position to take advantage of that right now.
Yeah, because instead of 75 million, you have 81 million to work with contract wise.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not worse. It's just different, and it's I don't know. I don't know that that's a bad thing necessarily. That's like how you do it right now, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just love the fact that there's so much animosity towards retention all of a sudden.
Oh, just
Um,
because
I think it's because it
more
seems
people are
like
doing it.
well, I don't know that that's the case, but I think it's become so clearly like the way.
Well, no, Cap's just gotten so more like more important, like because
Yeah, yeah,
it's restricted more, so that like when you see teams get retaining more, like New England has two teams retaining on two players, but you know we're not good yet. But
like
once you have
I
someone
think
like Winnipeg doing it all the time, they're like, oh come on, but it's like they haven't won anything yet, really. So
yeah, I mean our window of contention started last year. It was a little ahead of schedule.
yep.
huh,
Um, but this year's we're really trying to hope to get some damage done. It's what we've kind of this is what our long term like 10 season plan was for our window of contention to start this year.
yeah,
So that's what we've kind of planned all these cap finagling that we have done. A lot of that is attributed to Rashford. He's a very analytical person. He's very forward thinking, so I definitely have to attribute a lot of that credit to him. But
did you draft him?
yeah, I drafted him.
Nice.
Yeah, I drafted him in the 62 draft when I had 8 first round picks.
Oh yeah, he didn't draft Rice. It was
No,
one of those picks.
I did not. But the one thing that I think I can understand some frustration with is that we got a little creative with the
Oh,
wording
whenever
in
there's
the
anything
retention.
creative, people get
Like
mad at a little bit.
we technically the rule stated that you can have 2 people with retention on your roster. And so we took that as in we already have 2 players with 50% retention, but I'm going to go out and grab another 2K player and have this additional team retain on that salary, but not for the years that we have retention already. And that will kick in after those 2 players that have retained salary, their contracts expire. And then that other retention will kick in. So technically, we have 3 players that are like 2K caliber players, but only 2 of them are having the 50% retention. So,
Yeah,
we were able to get 5 years of that player.
yeah, that's smart. That's very smart
I
because
didn't even know about
eventually,
that.
because they're gonna probably like by the third, fourth, fifth year, they're gonna be below that like 6 million range, but you'll still
Hmm.
have them at that 50% discount
Yeah,
anyway. So
Yeah,
they'll
I
be
didn't
like
even
a
actually know about that.
5 million player, but still be retained for
3 million.
3 million. So
Yeah, so it's two
it works
million
out.
savings for those later seasons. Yeah.
Well, it's still 3 million saving, but like you could have signed him at 5 million
Hmm.
hypothetically. But like in the end, you still have more money than you should.
Yep. So like that for that reason, I can understand some apprehension, but like,
Oh, I thought it was genius. I was something I didn't even think about, and then I
I
saw that I'm like, oh, that actually works. And then it's just like, I think I think GMs aren't, if they are aware, they aren't pushing hard enough to have more picks getting attached to retaining. But I think also it just hasn't become like, if you want to win the cup, you have to have retained players yet. So I don't think it's there yet. But I
yeah,
yeah,
think,
I just don't
but
want
I
it to get to
think
that point. That's my
I
concern.
think the league itself is still a little bit new to retaining, just because. a lot of people haven't done it to win before. Like some people done it to get under the cap, but now that the cap is so restricted now, the past couple seasons, you'll probably see a lot more.
Yeah, it just the problem is that it takes a lot more effort and planning and execution on a plan than maybe some GM teams have the ability to do.
Like who? Like which teams? Ace? Which teams? Like
Nope,
Manhattan?
not going there.
Like
Not doing
Manhattan, right, Koa? Like Manhattan? Hold on, I'm gonna beat Koa real quick.
that. No, I got nothing but good things to say about Manhattan. They've significantly outperformed what I thought they were going to do. So,
Yeah, me too. Which is great, you know. I'm always Manhattan fanboy at heart.
well, I am a former Rage co-GM, so but I can
Well,
say that about half the teams in the league at this point.
yeah, you can. Edmonton, even though you weren't really co-GM, but you were in the locker room or the GM room for a long time or whatever.
I was the
Uh,
co-GM at Edmonton. I ran it with Carl for a bit there.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or I
Before
didn't
Keegan.
remember that at all.
Yeah, I was running. And I basically ran the show there. Carl was kind of like a shadow GM. No offense to Carl, but
Well, he recreated, so you can tell him to tell to his face.
oh
So
yeah, I'll tell. I've literally met him in person when I went there to Edmonton for work. We had a few drinks there. And
oh, it makes sense why he was GM of Edmonton. But
yeah,
yeah, and then like you're GM of New England once or twice,
yep,
uh, Hartford
yeah,
before you
the
moved
Hydra
them.
when
Yeah,
Dando happened. We rebranded the shit out of that team.
yeah, and
No,
then
now Winnipeg.
yeah.
Oh, and the Anaheim Outlaws. I got that going for me too.
Oh yeah, junior team. Yeah,
After I got shit canned, I was like, well, I'm gonna manage a team one way or the other.
yeah. I mean, yeah, because like at this point, like we're really in the SHL to manage teams right now. Is I don't know about
Mhm.
you, but like GM is so much fun.
Oh, 100%. I don't think I could go back to the SHL as just a player. Like I've GM'd for so long, it's like something that's in
You
my
have to be
DNA.
involved somehow.
Yeah, and my wife,
Yeah.
she fucking hates it so much, man. She's like, "Why are you still doing this? Like you've been doing this for over a decade of your life, and I don't
Well,
understand what you get out of it whatsoever."
it's just like you manage. We're like real people. Yeah, like that's you get to try to win with them. But yeah, no,
So much
like
fun.
there was only been the first 2 seasons I was in the SHL. Then I became co-GM of Vancouver, co-GM GM of Vancouver, co-GM Manhattan, and then I stepped away to do the co-commissioner stuff. And then took like a 2 season break because I got burnt out, and then became New
Yep.
England GM. So it's kind of the same thing for me, whether I have to be like an HO or GMing. I have to be somewhere.
Just
Just
don't you dare
because
ever rebrand that Wolfpack team.
oh, I'm
Like,
not. Bro, if I don't know why anyone would. It's just like it's fine, it's perfectly fine. You don't need to change anything. Like
right.
that's for like almost literally every team. You don't really need to change it unless you just want to change it for the sake of changing it. Unless
Like
something,
I
happens.
understand visuals, like logos and stuff like that. That's one thing. But like just I hate relocations. Like I hate it with a passion.
Relocations, I don't see any team that needs to be relocated until like a Nando situation happens. But like
Agreed.
hopefully we never get to see that. Um but yeah, no, it's just also I mean I don't care about changing logos. I don't think any logo should really change unless it absolutely needs to change. Uh, but yeah, no, the New England logo is perfectly fine. It's a great
I'm
logo.
I'm not biased or anything.
Yeah, but no, there's no need. New England has a great logo. You don't need to change anything for the sake of change. Uh, you don't have to have the ego associated with like changing a logo, right? Ace? Like you never done that, right? You never changed the team's logo like from New England to New England or from Winnipeg to Winnipeg, right?
No, not never. Never done that before.
Yeah,
I've only done it to New England, to Winnipeg, to Anaheim. Yeah,
yeah,
just a couple times here or there.
yeah. If Koa changes the logo, I can understand just because it's not technically our logo, but it's such a good logo.
I still
But
oh wait, I take it back. I did it to Manhattan too. I
Oh, you changed it from the bear with the city to the other
no,
bear?
I was the one that came up with. Well,
Oh,
I
the
worked with
bear with the
people
city?
with the angry polar bear. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay, okay.
yeah. We did that one when I was working with Diamond Ace at the
Oh,
time.
yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, that has to be season like 7 or something like that.
Something like that. I think I noted it somewhere. I don't know if I can find it right now, but I definitely noted it when the logos got changed.
Everybody, when we did that, like our entire locker room was so stoked. I remember back then, and everything was forum based at the time. And we're like, yeah, it's
Well,
awesome.
you have the original logo, with the rage with the bull, and then it changed to the bear itself, and then you had the polar bear around the city. But I don't have the dates on me at hand.
Yeah, I remember the city one. I forget who made that. Yeah, that one, the city one was the one that we put together, and we
Yeah.
were so stoked over that logo. And then everybody's like, "Why is it a bear? There's no bears in Manhattan. This makes no
Well,
sense."
JY fucking turned it back when he took over. Wait, no,
Oh man,
definitely. I gave Koa like 1,000 Dolly 2 logo outputs when I got Dolly 2. I just printed them out for him. I
I
was
feel like
like,
this team concept would be a fantastic candidate for like Dolly AI generated
oh,
logos.
there were just so many. But I mean, at some point you get married to the idea of the bull with the M and everything.
Yep.
What does a bull's nose look like? Does it look
Like
like
a
this?
regular, yeah, yeah,
It feels a little
maybe.
bit too human to me.
I don't know.
I
I don't look
honestly
at the
don't even know what a
nose.
bull's nose looks like. I have no idea, but
I mean, it's
this
also
just
like
feels
forward facing,
slightly
so
human to me. Yeah, again, I have no idea what a bull's nose really looks like.
yeah.
I've just never, I guess, noticed the nose on that. You guys want to do a final little closer question, or do you guys got
Yeah.
other stuff you want to talk about? Anything of interest? It's always
No,
fantasy, you
nothing.
know.
Nothing I say is particularly interesting. So
Let's get Bonk's last question out of the way, and then we can kind of figure out what we want to do from there, right?
All right.
good.
His last question is, oh, I missed the last word, so I had my answer already ready, and now I can't use it. He says, "What is your favorite ice cream sundae?"
I don't really
Sunday.
have ice cream Sundays.
Yeah, I missed the word Sunday when I read it the first time, and
I
so now I don't
don't
have an
have
answer.
I don't really do ice cream Sundays at
Neither
all.
Me
I
do
just have
neither.
I.
ice cream.
I'm thinking the last ice cream sundae I would have had would have been like maybe like junior high school at Dairy Queen, maybe.
Yeah, I can't
Um,
say that I've done them. I've made them for my daughters.
Yeah.
Like the homemade one with like just scoops of ice cream and some whipped cream, put like sprinkles on it and a maraschino cherry, but I don't really go out of my way to do that.
I think
Um,
like the last ones I had it was from like Friendlies.
I didn't know you guys had Friendlies. Friendlies is like a New England thing.
I don't even know
Really?
what Friendlies is.
Yeah. Yeah, Friendlies is a chain restaurant based out of Massachusetts that's now like dying across
Oh
the
yeah,
Northeast.
100% dying.
Yeah. Yeah, they had the Fribbles there. That's their excuse of the milkshake.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nothing amazing, but
Oh. Hey, if
yeah,
you
it's
want
probably
like
the only
microwave
thing that
food, fantastic.
true.
I can answer it if we're just talking ice cream
Yeah.
flavors. Like
So
I'm happy to do
yeah, that's
that.
what I had. That's initially like what I read is ice cream. I didn't read the last word
Yeah.
Sunday, so I was like, "Ooh, ice cream! I know this." What? Yeah, let's do that then. What is your favorite ice cream? Since we can actually answer that.
Uh
Go ahead,
you
Luke.
can go. Okay. If we're talking like standard ice cream, cookies cookie dough is like
Mm.
amazing. Can't go wrong with that. And then if we're going like gourmet like type of shit, Ben and Jerry's, hold on. Ben and Jerry's half baked.
You just took my answer, man. I literally have that. I have that in my freezer right now.
Ben and Jerry's half baked is
Yeah,
amazing.
that's my favorite, bar none. That like the little chunks of cookie dough and brownie
Yeah. It's
in the
just
ice cream.
perfect. So
Oh,
many calories, but like, oh my god, it's so good.
yep. So not
What
to
about
cop
you,
out,
Rich?
that's literally what I was gonna do.
Yeah. What about you, Rich?
So my answer is a little bit weird because it's very specific. But so there's a ice cream place in Washington D.C., like right off DuPont Circle, like a couple blocks off DuPont Circle, called
Oh,
Larry's Homemade Ice Cream. Um, and this is like my answer forever. I don't know if it'll ever change, but they had this flavor called Ecstasy, which was
oh,
like I don't even know what it was, and it's been many many years since I've had it, so I'm not even sure I can accurately describe what it tastes like anymore. It's been more than 15 years. I'm not even sure when the last time I had it was, but it's got like a fudge like swirl mixed into the like the and it's yeah, it's so good. Um, but for like more standard traditional ice cream fare, like something you get at the store, I go for just like a homemade like a French vanilla. I'm pretty plain in that regard.
okay,
Um,
okay.
but I want yeah, I'm not just standard vanilla, but like a yeah, like if I can find like a store brand that has like a homemade version of vanilla, which is not really a thing, store bought, but a slightly
One
slightly
thing
stepped up version of vanilla is what I want.
one thing that I really enjoyed as a kid was my dad had one of the ice cream makers,
Ooh,
and we would literally make our own ice cream with like cream and sugar, and it was like one of the old fashioned ones. Like you had to put
Yeah.
salt in the ice and everything.
oh nice.
Um, but it was funny because we would screw it up so often, so it would just be like a loose, liquidy mess that tasted like vanilla the first few times we tried it. And I was like 10 years old when we did this. But it was always kind of a fond experience looking back and making it yourself. And then
Yeah.
realizing what you make yourself isn't as good as the crap that you buy in stores.
All right. I mean that's it. That's what we got. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? Any other
Not for me.
burning questions or topics or anything like that?
I don't think so. I appreciate you guys having me on and glad that I was able to donate some money to a good cause.
Heck yeah. Oh, I did want to touch on that. I mean, I guess I don't know, there's really isn't a whole lot to say, but yeah, we had the charity drive. Um, just what? Yeah, 2,600, a little over
Yeah.
$2,600 raised by the SHL. I think that's just the SHL, right?
Yeah,
I think
just
so.
the
Okay,
HHL,
that wasn't
yeah.
it wasn't like that. So yeah, that's amazing work. Proud of everybody. I love the auctions were a lot of fun to watch. So that was great. Um, yeah, super excited to see what we get next time around.
Who was it that came in there and like upbidded by like $80, not realizing it was real money? Who was that again?
Someone on Philly.
Oh no.
It was someone on Philly, and then yeah, I forget who, but it was someone on Philly. I knew that.
That's
They logged
incredible.
on and Jess was ready to shake them down for their money. They're like, oh, SHL dollars.
I don't, man. That's pretty funny. That's actually really
Yeah.
funny.
The funny thing was, is like one of the bids was like at $30, and they came in and they're like, "I'll bid $100."
I think it was one of the Australian guys.
Was it
That just-
Avakale?
No, it wasn't
No,
Abigail.
Avakill would know better, I would think. Anyway,
It was Avakale.
that'd be kind of incredible if it was, though, because I would definitely not expect that from him.
Oh, Abigail didn't know it was U.S. dollars. He thought it was just general
Oh.
dollars. I think so.
Maybe.
Conversion rates.
Okay, all right, maybe. All right, that's actually kind of fair then.
Oh, maybe I was misunderstanding. I thought that was like they thought it was.
No,
SHL
it was
dollars.
someone else. There's someone else as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're two Australians messed up.
Yeah, like dollars to dollars conversion.
I think it was
is
Evil
a different
Allbrain.
thing. But yeah, the SHL money one's pretty great.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty stoked. The other things that I won.
Yeah, I want a couple things.
I got a underwhelming painting from Jess that's going to be crafted and sent.
That's
So,
fun.
I'm looking forward to seeing what that beautiful piece of art will look like. And I forget what else I got actually. God, what else did I win?
I renamed the SMJHL division.
You got one
I-
of the.
I got 2 Hall of Fame cards.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I refused. I saw that. I was like, nope. I'm getting one
going-
my way.
I'm
gonna-
doubling my collection.
I refuse. I will absolutely pull another one. I will pull my second Hall of Fame card one day.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in the Trips' one-shot D&D campaign. That's the
Oh,
other thing.
nice.
Oh, that's fun.
I wanted to bid on one of those, but I kind of just like, I'll let other people do it. I'm not, it's fine.
Yeah. I'm in far too many D&D campaigns now.
I would like to be in more, but I don't know that I can really invest the time. I can, but I don't. I kind of don't want to.
Well, your character's riveting. It's got to be a lot of fun to play a droid.
So that was actually kind of a mistake. Like I I created a hammer, and if there's no nails around, I don't know what to do with him. So
Yeah.
so it's kind of a problem. But we'll see. I'm sure it'll evolve a little bit. Maybe I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. I mean, yeah. If there's nothing else, we can call her here. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Ace. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Definitely.
It's
Thanks
always
for having me.
interesting talking to somebody that we're not super familiar with. At least I'm not super familiar with. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I assume Luke will be back next week,
It should be, yeah.
barring any unforeseen circumstances. But yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
Cool.
All right,
Good luck,
thanks
guys. Enjoy the
for-
season.
Yeah, you too.
Hopefully New England beats Winnipeg once.
I hope nobody beats Winnipeg because we're actually favorites this year.
Oh,
It looks
yeah,
like in the
yeah,
predictions.
It's gonna be. I've actually got to do my MPT, and I'm gonna set my my like what do you call it? My what is this? What's the phrasing of that? It's like your I don't know, your motto for the season or whatever.
I
is
don't know.
for LA, it's just gonna be pretend that we're Winnipeg.
Slogan.
Yeah. Just or what is it? Anytime it shows Winnipeg on the schedule, we're actually not playing that night. So you'll watch.
I think I did
One
something
of those
like
two, something like that.
I think I did something like we've retained on the HO salary or something like that.
Nice.
All right, guys. Have a
All
good
right.
night. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me.
Yeah, take it
See ya.
easy. So long,
See you
everybody.
guys.
Bye.